Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another thrilling episode of Zooster by Night, where we face off with our fiends and anti-heroes of the great city of Zooster. Tonight, Legate Seth of the Firefly Pack is reporting in with Bishop Middlewaithe, as they've both been doing some research into the events that led to half the Fireflies gone missing. So I am at the Cerberus Haven, as that's where we are currently crashing until we can get a new pack haven set up. And this takes place. Have you done any activities this evening yet so far?
Yeah, Simon
Okay.
spent a couple hours in his laboratory, which is off the main warehouse area, and he's basically walking around right now just wearing his dress slacks. He has no shoes on, no shirt on. He has some rather strange runes and Latin writing cut into his chest as he walks out, wiping off blood off of his hands. Ah,
Okay.
Seth.
Bishop, I've done some investigating into following up what happened with Alistair and Evelyn. Unfortunately, they were not delivered to the morgue, or at least not the local morgue.
Alistair is currently in dockside in Bratos' territory, Vermilion Bay, Road 118.
Interesting. Have you contacted Bishop Bratos about this?
I have. I just got off the phone with him. He says that he would prefer that we keep things subtle, try not to kill a bunch of people again. Duh. And other than that, he said that he will remain at hand if we need more martial backup.
Any idea who might have them at this dock area?
No, that I don't know.
Hmm.
What were you able to find out at the morgue?
Well, the attack was not very publicly known amongst the police of the precinct that oversees our area.
That's not
Um,
surprising, as if it was an honest situation, they would have taken the bodies to the local morgue, not to some random warehouse or place out on dockside.
yes, the actual SWAT raid itself was not widely talked about afterwards. Something that big, you'd think word of mouth would pass through fairly quickly, at least amongst the local precinct, either irritated that a precinct from outside their territory had done this locally, or talking about the kind of crazy stuff that happened. No such conversations were taking place. My contact actually had to do a little bit of digging even to find out anything about the raid.
Hmm. So, whoever Bishop Brados' contact was that told him that this was coming is either extremely well connected or on the make themselves, and decided to betray his own people for some reason.
Yes, which is would be very interesting as well. The reason of the raid. They came specifically looking for Alistair Cavell, the known cop killer.
And they knew enough to take him even though his face had been changed since he killed cops. Hmm.
They knew he would be there. They knew to come during the day, and they knew that he was there, despite not having anything that would link the identity of Alistair Cavell with the mailbox.
Well, then it's a good thing that we burned the mailbox down, as it is obviously compromised. Hmm.
And the orders came from very high up in the police organization. It, whoever it was that tipped them off, is very well connected with the local police detachment.
Hmm. Do we know which member of the police force actually gave the order, or only that he's just high up?
That I have not gotten a specific identity of. That might be a little bit more difficult for my contact personally to get figured out. Nor did I get the specific precinct that had made the move on them, which
And you
obviously would
got
have made it easier.
and you got all this from some contact you have in the police department.
Yes.
Did you learn anything at the morgue? I assume there was nothing to be found there.
There was nothing found there. There was none of the evidence that was taken from the mailbox was delivered to that precinct.
Well,
At this point, part of me wonders if it actually was legitimate police that had done the raid, or if they were hiding through bureaucracy as some unknown precinct in the city was responding to this danger call, and some of our enemies were behind it directly.
yes, could have been people just dressed up as police. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to procure uniforms and a police truck.
No, for sure.
Well, these clues all can help us find out who ordered this, but I believe the more immediate concern is getting our people back.
For certain.
So I need you to gather Winston, and I'll see if I can get a hold of Alice and or Bill, and we're going to go scope out the address that the spirits told me. So we'll make this happen as soon as we can.
Yes.
Then we can find out exactly who ordered this and gut them like a fish.
I am hoping that whoever is at that location with them would be able to illuminate things a little bit. And as long as they aren't kept staked, they themselves might have been able to learn something of their captors.
Not only that, but if we get in there stealthily, if we get in there, I'm going to guess that they do not know that we have this particular ritual at our disposal, so they won't be expecting us so quickly, so time is of the essence. And of course, they could always move him, in which case my information will be outdated. So we do need to do this as soon as possible.
How difficult is this ritual for you to
It's not
do?
difficult, but it's time consuming.
Okay. Well, I was just only asking Your Excellency in case enough time passes that we may need to double check to see if they have passed on.
Yes, if we can't get this put together tonight, then I will do the ritual again on my waking tomorrow to make sure he hasn't been moved. And I don't know if Eveline is there either. I only know that Alistair is. We can assume that they are together, but that may not be the case.
It may not be the case, that's true.
Any dreams or peculiar insights I need to know?
Nothing specifically relating to this. I've got some uncertainties that I don't really know for sure. But I think we definitely want to try to make sure that we keep as much of them alive as possible so that we can find out, hopefully between all of our different methods of insight, who is behind this. Because this is a personal something in my gut tells me this is a personal strike and not just a coincidence or following up from Alistair's bad history with the police.
We're also the most visible Sabbat in the city at the moment, so it stands to reason that this could simply be our enemies making a move on the targets they know. I made no attempt to hide the mailbox, and many of us have been seen going to and from the mailbox. It could just be a lucky hit.
That's true, which is why it'd be good to be able to find out as much as we can, whether it's we're dealing with ghouls or hunters or some unknown third party that have detained them.
Well then, you work on getting Winston, I'll work on contacting Bill, and we'll see if we can get a at least a drive-by look at this place.
Yes, for certain. All right. Is there anything else that you need from me, Your Grace?
Not at this very moment. Simon spins the blood and heals all the wounds on his chest, and they close up quickly. And Simon starts buttoning his suit coat or his shirt. And he says, "Let's get this done. I don't like being inconvenienced, and I certainly don't need the Fireflies being inconvenienced. We have a lot to do that doesn't involve looking at abandoned warehouses."
Yes, exactly. I want to get this done tonight for tomorrow night. The priesthood and I have an activity that we are engaging in, so.
Yes, the oil rig.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that only sending a few people in is a good idea there, but Brados assures me that he wants to see the packs prove themselves without our guidance.
Well, duly noted. I think a group of 4 is sizable enough to be defendable and yet small enough to be easier to sneak.
If Bashir is out there and he is not in any kind of trouble, then what I want you to do is to ask him once to come help the sect. If he balks, refuses, or makes up any excuses, I want you to stake him and bring him back to help the sect. Is that clear?
He will come with us one way or the other.
Good. Now then, we have work to do. And Simon will go back into his lab.
And Seth will head back out into the night. And I believe we can end scene.